In today's video, we will cover the new features available in the ExactFlat Notch Manager update. In this update, we have introduced a brand new Notch Manager menu. So when we go to the Notch Tags dialog, now we'll see an upgraded set of options that will allow us to choose between different notch types. Now we added a larger variety of notches, so we can choose between custom notches, check notches, crescent notches, T notches, U notches, as well as the usual slit and V notches that were available before. In the new Notch Manager menu, we'll be able to add new notches as usual. So this time, let's go for a T notch instead. And our notches will be added to both neighboring pieces at the same time at the same location. But this time, we'll now be able to also add notch chains instead. This will allow us to add multiple notches in a single shot. This multiple notches can also be edited within the chain properties. So if I go to my notch chain properties, we could increase the number of notches that we're adding simultaneously, and they will be evenly spaced. We can decide if we want to add notches at the beginning of the seam or at the end of the seam as well, or both. We can also choose to specify a certain spacing between the notches, or to just simply evenly space the notches and choose the quantity. Then we will be able to adjust some settings within our Notch Manager menu, where we can find a template selection menu. With the Notch template selection menu, this will allow us to assign a specific template to the notches that we have already added. So in this case, I'm going to change these T notches into castle notches instead. And that will apply the template settings to the current notches. Now we'll be able to see which notches belong to which piece in the notch list. This will also tell us what notch type and tag is being used for that chain, as well as if that chain belongs to a point or a chain. Within the notch settings, now will we also be able to add a notch multiple. The notch multiple will work as a double or triple notch setting, for example. So this way, each one of the notches that we have here can be either duplicated, triplicated, and so on. We can specify the distance between these notches, which will make our notching tasks way easier. If we also take a look at the set auto-increment value option that has been added, this feature will now allow us to decide what notch number is going to be added. Is going to allow us to define the starting point of the notch tag count. Besides having a number, we will now introduce the ability to add letters, to add uppercase letters and lowercase letters as well. So if we are adding a notch right now that starts with the number 5, because the last one that we used was set to number 4. If we wish to add a notch with the number 4 again, we could just set it there, hit OK button. So then the next notches that we add will start with the number 4 as well. If we go to New and click, that adds those notches to the other piece. Then we can just simply copy the settings and that will do it. We can edit our notch templates by going to the ExactFlat Notch Template Editor command, which can be written down in the command prompt. So if we open the Notch Template Editor, over here we'll be able to create new templates from scratch, choose the notch type that we want to use for that template, decide the knot width and depth settings, our notch multiple settings, and the tag format with the recently added lowercase and uppercase letters as well. We can combine numbers with lowercase letters and uppercase letters as well, allowing us for creating unique codes for our notches. We can now decide the notch font size and font faces. We can now decide the tag font face and the tag font size. We can now decide the tag font size and the tag font face individually per notch. So now let's just close this. I'm not going to save the changes. If we want to edit our notches, if we want to edit our notch templates, we can open up the ExactFlat Notch Template Editor. And over here, we'll be able to create new notch templates from scratch, decide the notch type that we're going to use for that notch template, specify the width and depth for that notch, if it should be multiplied or not, and describe our tag format. With the recently added lowercase and uppercase letters, now we can also add letters that will auto-increment as well within our notch tag. We can combine numbers and letters in any way, and this allows us for unique customizations of the notch tags. We'll also be able to define the tag font face and the tag font size independently per notch type. We can also select one of our existing notch templates, create a copy of them, and then redefine their settings. So now that this is done, let's just add a couple of notches. So we have some notch chains added and some notch points. So we can see now the effect of the castle notches and the T notches as well. And this time we'll add also some check notches as an example. Within the new Notch Manager menu, we'll be able to set our auto-increment value. So right now you see that the last notch that was added is notch number 6. So if I want my auto-increment value to restart the count and start off with the number 1 and hit OK, then the next notch will start with the number 1. And so on. So we can decide if we need to restart the notch auto-increment value count. So we can decide if we want to restart the auto-increment value count from whichever number we want. So if we then export our pieces, and open up our exported file, we'll see the brand new notches that we just introduced. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send an email to support@exactflat.com and we'll be glad to help out.